Welcome back to FTB Stoneblock 4. I'm Bumstar, and today we're finally stepping into Tier 3 of the questline. I haven't looked ahead yet, so honestly I have no idea what we're walking into. But that's half the fun. New echoes, new mechanics, and probably a few new surprises waiting to ambush us. We're going to explore everything Tier 3 throws at us, figure out what's coming next for the world engine, and keep pushing this world closer to finishing. Let's dive in and see what Tier 3 has in store. So first things first, we have everything else done, so it's time to talk to our Echo of Guidance. Progress verified, 3 new archives are now ready for deployment. And complete stage. Let's see what quest we just got. Go ahead and come down here and accept. We have our max unearther level now. And get some more coins to spend in the store. And we now have the Tier 3 quest unlocked, so let's hear what the Echo of Guidance has to say.
Your world engine can now support Tier 3 upgrades. The WERK will now reboot 3 additional archives. The Echo of the Infernal carries knowledge of the underworld, a place where few have survived. The Echo of the Catalyst manages machines and tools designed to accelerate your progress. The Echo of the Lightbender manipulates quantum and subatomic mechanisms.
Alright, and our task is to return to me once you have completed the Catalyst and at least one other Tier 3 world engine upgrade. Let's see, do we get any new shop items? We do. Some random Wyvern gear, random lesser combat relics, random RF source, iron spell gear, random data model, some end ring shards. Nice. So quite a few different things. So now we have 3 new echoes unlocked, and let's go ahead and listen to all 3 and see what they require from us. Alright, so first up is the Archive of the Catalyst. And we'll listen to this one first, since this is the first one, or since this is the main one that we have to do. And it is all end themed. Infinite water cell, ooh, that's gonna be nice. Basic to diamond, basic to netherite, phantom membranes, drop teleporter for JustDireThings, and some scrolls. Alright, Echo of the Catalyst, what do you have for us?
Hey there! Are you ready to tackle more fun and interesting marvels of technology? It's kind of crazy, right? How so many of us manage to build all these upgrades for the same ancient machine, across different eras, each one improving on the last. Not to brag, but I've contributed more upgrades to the world engine than most. Still, quality beats quantity every time. My work ended up at Tier 3 for a reason. Wait until you see what some of the other echoes cooked up. It'll blow your mind. Anyway, enough yapping. Let's get to it. The upgrade I'll be teaching you about is what keeps the whole world engine from falling apart when you start cranking up the power. My advanced machine blocks are the backbone of every higher tier system. Without them, you'd probably collapse this entire dimension. So before we risk that, let's work on your power generation. With the help of some tech from the Quartermaster and the Infernal, you'll need to build an energizing orb. It's used to fuse high-energy materials like nitro crystals. Once you get that running, use the results to make a nitro ender cell and power up your world engine.
And our task is to craft an ender cell nitro. So, that little bit of power upgrade we did last episode will help us with this, but I'll tell you right now, that is not going to be enough power at all. So we're going to need to do something about that. Because, well, nitro requires a ton of power. And it looks like I won't be able to avoid doing power after all. So let's go see what the other 2 echoes require from us. And time to head down to the Infernal, which looks to be some nether related stuff. And a disco dance floor. Interesting design. Alright, Mr. Infernal, what do you have for us?
The hell's a scrawny brat like you doing trying to restore the world engine? I wouldn't have lasted a single day in the underworld expedition with a body like that. Not that many of us did, anyways. Even the strong can fall, our commander used to say. Never been truer than now. Since you look more like the brains over brawn type, I suggest you gear up before going after this upgrade, rookie. My upgrade's just another step towards that power of the deep the enchanter keeps yapping about. If you've met them. Doesn't matter if you haven't. I'm not one for teamwork anymore. My upgrade works fine without any of their magical nonsense. What you'll need is combat experience and proper gear if you're planning to take on the Guardian of the Underworld and the Vault. You'll also need to understand a bit of the spiritual side. I never used to believe in it until I saw what's down there. Get your hands on some spirit metal. It'll let you bind the physical and spiritual and underworld realms together to forge spirit blocks. Shouldn't be too hard for a determined spirit.
Alright, and our task is to slay the Guardian within the Inferno Vault and gather what you need to craft 12 spirit blocks. So we're definitely going to need to upgrade our gear and enchant it. And we may dive into this a little bit and at least start preparing for this. Let's check to see what they have in the shop here. Ooh, a dripping upgrade for functional storage. That'll be really nice. Just passive lava gen. Obsidian generator, so some just passive obsidian. Apotheosis gems, wither rose, some wither skeletons, and a obelisk. And we also will eventually unlock some data models as well. Definitely worth doing that. Oh, wait a minute. Why are there fluid cows hanging out here? But that brings us right over to the Lightbender. That must be new to in here because I do not remember seeing these around here before. And now we're down in the Lightbender. Pretty cool designed room. Got some mechanism going on in here with some centrifuges and charge pads. Let's see what the Lightbender has to say.
Ah, wonderful! It has been ages since a fellow scholar wandered into my workshop. Through my work in quantum and subatomic physics, I designed countless technological marvels, some of which are still in use today. Teleportation, particle manipulation, and even energy refraction. Many call me mad, yet here I am. Well, sort of. This projection is merely a reflection of my old brilliance. Fascinating, isn't it? Such a feat would require technology far beyond anything I ever witnessed. Now then, let's get you started on those upgrades for that rather dysfunctional world engine of yours. First, you must study particle formations capable of bending and refracting energy fields. In simpler terms, force fields. To master them, you must conquer a vault that will let you extract Fortron and infuse it into a metallic alloy designed to reflect energy. This will allow you to craft the Fortron blocks needed for your upgrade.
Alright, and our task is to retrieve Fortron infused ingots from the Fortron Vault and craft 4 Fortron infused blocks. Let's see what's in the shop here. Ultimate pipe upgrades, nice. Night vision goggles, night vision through JustDireThings, and some force matrices. So now that we've had a chance to look through tier 3, things are getting real. And we've got 3 major quest lines unlocked. We've got the Catalyst, which wants a full power overhaul and the Nitro upgrade through Power. The Lightbender, which is all about force fields and a brand new vault to explore. And then we have the Infernalist, which is going to throw us into a boss fight and deal with some magic within the Nether. And I think for today, we're going to focus on the Infernalist here. We're going to play with some magic, because normally I'm a big tech person. Normally I would be going this route immediately, but I want to play with some magic, kind of change it up a bit. And we're going to be doing all 3 of these anyway. We're going to utilize our mob farm to start automating some Apothic gear, and going through that to upgrade everything, and maybe start playing around with some JustDireThings gear and see what we can do with that. So let's jump right into that. Okay, so now what we're going to do, looks like we need to turn off our mob farm here because it has backed up. We are super full on redstone, so we need to go upgrade our redstone drawer. And let's see, where is that? Right here. Oh yeah, let's just stack this entire drawer with diamond upgrades. And well, let's go ahead and magnet everything that was in here to ourselves because, well, there's some gear here that we're going to use. And I'm sure there's a lot of stuff in here that might be useful anyway, but let's open this up and start dumping anything else that we don't really need. Definitely want that gem dust. Get rid of the bow and the quivers. Keep the green gear. Get rid of the leather boots. And we'll just go ahead and clean all this up real quick. Okay, so now what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to look at our 2 void upgrades here, and we're going to go ahead and allow Apothec. And then over here, going to remove armors, but keep everything else here. Actually, we'll do tools as well. So now what we'll do, and we'll clean this all up because, well, this is going to cause us to have to kind of put a bunch of pipes down here. But what we're going to do is we're going to run a pipe here, and we're going to put a salvaging table. And then we're going to set this to pool. So now what this should do, if we put this headpiece in here, it should send that armor right over to this. And then it's going to make that time worm and some leather because it's going to tear those items apart. And we want to do the same thing with gems right now. So let's go see what we have in our system. Alright, so we have some gems in here. Oh, we do have a unique gem. What is this? Nothing special. Let's do armor as well. And we're going to need to go through all of this armor. Because let's see, if we do Control T, this opens up here. So we need to equip a common helm, chest piece, and boots. So anything common or higher. So we are just missing the boots here to get that last upgrade, which is fine. And we're just going to take all of these items and we're going to dump them into the salvage table by just putting them in here. And as you can see, this is now filling up. So what we're going to do is do the exact same thing here, where we're going to pull from here. And it's going to start pulling anything in here that we have a spot for. So anything that we don't have a spot for is then going to be stuck in here. So we need to find a spot for chains, for scrap metal, for shards, and for fabric. And now all of the gear that drops will be salvaged into here. And then all we need to do is if we decide that we want some of the gear that drops, we just need to reroute this cable so it doesn't automatically push it out and it'll be pushed into here instead. So let's turn our mob farm back on and we're going to let that start running. And this will start filling up with some gear. And this will backflow with all the gear that drops, which is fine because we're going to keep an eye on it and utilize some of that gear. In the meantime, we're going to go ahead and craft our simple reforging table because we now have gem dust. And let's see, can we make the regular reforging yet? No, we need netherite and we need arcane sands, which are going to be from any epic affix. So we're going to need to work on that a bit more. Let's go ahead and put our reforging table here. Then we're going to go ahead and make a gem cutting table as well. So now we'll be able to craft gems and be able to upgrade our gear with the Apotheosis upgrades here. And as you can see, we now already have some bows coming in. So we're going to go ahead and see if we can just make it so bows in general are, well, I guess it doesn't matter because we're going to want some upgraded stuff anyway. So we'll let that fill up. And another thing that we could do to start getting better drops is we could upgrade our mob grinder here with our mob masher upgrade looting and mob masher upgrade sharpness, so it kills them quicker and it will give us some better loot. And there's a few other options you can do as well where you can burn them, smite them, kill spiders more, behead them, you know, just kind of all the different things. But really the sharpness and the looting are the most important, so let's go ahead and make those. So let's come over here and turn off our mob spawner again. Everything's dead. We're going to break out here. And let's put the upgrades in and fill that right back up. As you can see, we have 2 bows because everything else is being pushed through. And now when we turn this back off, we should start killing everything a lot quicker and getting a lot more loot a lot quicker. So now that we have that all set up, let's go ahead and start working on some JustDireThings gear. So as it currently stands, we do have some nether scrap, but let's see if we're close to being able to make our shadow pulse, and we're going to need dragon's breath and endstone for that, and we're not quite there yet, but we do have our void shimmer goo. It means that we can now make celestigem. And the benefit to celestigem is it uses energy instead of durability. And we don't have player energy quite yet, but that is something that we are going to be making our way to. So we're going to go ahead and make a full set of gear for now, as well as the celestigem bow. And one of the coolest things with the JustDireThings armor is the augments that you can put on it. So for example, on the headpiece, we have mind fog, stupefy, night vision, and water breathing. Chest piece, we have invulnerability, extinguishing, elytra. Leggings, we have run speed, walk speed, swim speed, and decoy. And the boots, we have step assist, jump boost, ground stop, and negate fall damage. And then for the bow, we have potion arrow, splash, lingering, and homing arrow. Homing arrow is my favorite because now we can just not worry about aiming. And then if you do the fully upgraded JustDireThings bow, the Eclipse alloy, you also have Yondu's arrow, which will mean it'll bounce between others. So I'm going to make a pocket generator for now to see how that kind of runs with our JustDireThings. Let's grab some coal. And if I fill that up with some coal, we're getting 60 FE a tick, and it's filling everything up pretty quickly. So we're just going to keep this on us for now, and that should be more than enough for what we need. So let's go try and get some decent enchants. Alright, so first things first, we are going to come in here and let's go ahead and just see what enchants we would get on here. So unbreaking. Don't need to worry about unbreaking on any of this. And let's go ahead and just try some books. Nature's Blessing's pretty nice. And let's grab our experience. Let's see, we got Nature's Blessing, Capturing, Replenishing, and Projectile Protection. That's pretty solid. Power, Thorns, Scavenger, Chainsaw, and Rebounding. Power, Knowledge of the Ages, Capturing, Life Mending, Nature's Blessing. So we're getting some pretty good enchants here. And so let's just enchant everything here with some decent enchants. It's going to be nothing great, but it's better than what we currently had. Ooh, that is solid. So now let's go ahead and see if we can combine some of these. So if we combine these, we are getting a crazy amount of enchants. We've got Power, Thorns, Chainsaw, Capturing, Scavenger, Life Mending, Knowledge of the Ages, Rebounding, and Nature's Blessing. I mean, really the main one is going to be Power, but in order for that, we're also going to need Infinite. So we need to figure out where we can get Infinite to start really pushing these together. Let's go ahead and make that. So if we were going to put this here and this here, this would only give us Life Mending and Power. So we're going to wait on that and see if we can get the Infinite so we can just keep a single arrow on us. And there we go, Infinity. So if we take this and this, then we put this here with this. We obviously got rid of a ton of other enchants, but that's really all we were looking for with this. So now all we need is a single arrow on us, and this thing is going to just continuously fire. Alright, and now what we're going to do is we're going to upgrade our JustDireThings gear. So we have the headpiece here. We've got night vision. Actually, we don't need an anvil, we need a smithing table. So let's go figure out where we put that. I'll place that down here. Alright, so here we go. So headpiece with night vision. Perfect. With mind fog. Great. And then our chest piece is going to be invincible. And that's it for that. For our legs, we did walk speed and run speed. For our boots, we just did ground stop. And then for our bow, we have done Celestia Gem, or we've done homing. So now we can equip all of this. And as you can see, we now have night vision. So everything is a lot brighter. And we are moving very, very fast. Now I've set a keybind here, and we can now use that keybind to open up our JustDireThings UI, and you can turn these on and off. And then if you right click them, it'll open up settings where you can set specific keybinds for anything within the mod pack and any of the upgrades that you do. But we're going to go ahead and just keep these as they are because, well, it's nice and bright now. And we don't have to worry about not being able to see anything. Granted, it kind of defeats the purpose of having shaders, but it's going to be a lot easier to see everything that we need to see, and we move so much quicker. So running down these tunnels and getting to our destinations, a lot easier. And then it's the same thing with the bow. I just have it equipped, and then you hold shift and right click anywhere, and it'll open up this inventory. So now I can just have homing set to target hostile, target all living. You can set it to a keybind. You can have it active when equipped. All of that. But now that we have this set up, I'm going to go ahead and enchant our 3 weapons here. And before we do that, we're going to make some sigils of rebirth. So we need some deep slate. We're going to grab our cobbled deep slate here and throw that in our furnace. That way we can make some gem slabs here. And then with this, we need 3 gem dust with these slabs. And what these are going to allow us to do is they're going to allow us to upgrade our items within Apotheosis. So we're going to get our crystal shards, and we'll grab some of the fabric as well, just in case we need it. Let's go ahead and find some decent enchants on here. Let's see, we got Bane, Looting, Reaper, and Scavenger. What we get on here? Unbreaking, Looting, Knowledge of the Aegis, and Mending. And then for this one, Sweeping Edge, Looving, Rift Disruptor, and Capturing. I'm not sure what a lot of those are, but we will take them. So now let's come over to our Reforge table. And if we put our Sigil of Rebirth here with our Luminous Crystal Shards, and then let's take this. This will now allow us to upgrade it. And it shows you on the left there how many of each it's going to take. So this is going to take 6 crystals to upgrade. And we get 1 gem slot. And this will cause us to have on hit inflict frosted, and it ignores durability. This one gives us snared and bleeding and ignores durability. And this one gives us bleeding and ignores durability. And this one also gives us 2 gem sockets. So we're going to go ahead and do this one. We'll do that for each item here as well. And we can do that for all of our gear as well. So now we just need to kill an Apothic Evader, and we'll be able to get to Summit, which will then allow us to start getting purple armor. So we've got some stuff we gotta do. But in the meantime, we are pretty much set. We've got everything enchanted and upgraded to the highest tier that we can right now with Apotheosis gear and enchanting. So I think it's time to start figuring out what we need to do for our quest. Hidden deep within the Netherrack, the Infernal mentioned a buried vault in the Netherring that is home to a very dangerous burning soul. The vault comes alive once the jukebox is activated with its favorite song. This vault is very dangerous. Come prepared for a fight. To unlock the vault, you will need to complete the dance once activated by the music disc. You can kill the blazes to increase your heat, or you can do the dance by following the lightest color floor tiles. So we're going to need to make a music disc with latex, netherite scraps, and blaze ingots. So now to move on with our quest, we're going to need to process some latex. So we're going to set this up with some fluid extractors, a advanced block placer, a basic fluid tank, a fluid drawer, and our controller access. And just set this up to be slightly automated. It's not going to be the best thing in the world, but it's going to get the job done for now, and we're going to need power cables. So what we're going to do is we're going to set up the fluid extractors right here. And let's see how we want them facing. We have to face them the other way. We're going to set them up like this. We're just going to go 3 high for now. Let's break out the wall back here. So we're going to need to run power to all of this. Let's go ahead and run our power cables back here. Now we're going to want to put a advanced block placer right here and render this area so it just puts down to the 3 here. So we're going to bring this down 1. And then increase that by 2. So now that middle area is placed. And set that to 1 tick. And then we're going to take our fluid pipes and connect those this way. And take our controller access point and put that at the top here, if I can reach. Right there. Let's link that to our system. We're going to put an item pipe here. Let's get our improved setup going, because we're going to want to have this place wood. And we're going to need to upgrade our pipe upgrades to diamond. Alright, so now we put it up there, and we're going to go logs. And acacia is the best one to do, but any type of log will work fine. So we're going to put spruce and oak. And then we want to set a allow list to spruce and oak. And of course, we don't have any spruce and oak actually in our drawer system, so we need to make sure to put those in. So let's grab out our logs. And we're not going to need a ton of them to begin with, because this is just a very temporary setup. So now we need to just figure out which way this needs to face. It should just be down. And then these fluid extractors should start working because they have power. And they're going to start stripping these oak of their latex. And we're going to set this up with two separate things. We're going to set it up into a tank, into a fluid drawer. It's not going to be the prettiest thing in the world, but it's going to work for now. And then we'll go ahead and put this right here. Take our fluid pipes, put those here, and we're going to turn these off. And then we just set those to cool. And then we're going to configure this here. So we're going to allow some latex into that drawer real quick and then turn that off, put our tank down. We just wanted enough in there so we can configure this and then link it to our system. But we want latex going in here for now so we can pull it out with a bucket or fill that up and then connect it to our world engine so we can put some latex in there. And we want that latex so that way we can make our music disc, which we're going to need 100 millibuckets. So we're already there. We're going to do our flame disc and we're going to head to the vault. And let's do that vault and get kill the guardian in the vault to acquire these ingots. So let's head there and do that. So we've got our compass, and our compass is pointing north. So let's head north. And as you can see, we are so much faster now. So I will see you guys in a few. Right, and we are close enough, so let's head in. So I may have got a little overly excited to do this vault, and I may or may not have completely forgot to make the music disc. So let's go do that, and then run right back over here. Pop those in here. Let's put our tank down. A nice little fluid cable there, and pop the latex in. Let that run. Got our music disc, and let's head back home. Alright, we're back down here. Let's see. Zombified piglins, no worry. And let's use this again to teleport. And now we're back in. We need to activate the jukebox with the disc. We can kill the blazes to increase our heat, or we can dance following the lightest color floor tiles. This jukebox, I'm assuming. Dance, monkey, dance. Let's just take a look around. There's a chest down here. Let's grab all of this. Just check all these areas real quick. Get everything that we can from here. Some other stone. Nice. And this chest is locked. Let's just dump all of that into our backpack. And we can go through everything later. But alright, so fully looted out. We have our disc. Let's head in here and put it in there. So I think we're going to need to stay on the yellow, right? I have no idea what we're doing. I don't know what we're supposed to be doing, but this music is very loud. It said stay on the lightest floor tiles, right? Okay, hold on. 0% to goal. Alright, hold on. Alright, let's see. I feel like I'm missing something. If you're struggling with the vault or killing Ignis, you may use the music disc in your offhand to light your inner fire. Okay, so there's another music disc. This will generate 10 times more heat for killing blazes and doing the dance puzzle, while also eliminating any penalties for missing colors. Okay, but what is the dance? Following the lightest colored floor tiles. That's what I was doing, right? Maybe not too well, but it would be yellow, correct? Let's try this one more time, and if not, we will make that other disc to see what's going on. This ice baby, keep trying. Okay, so did I complete it? I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Let's take that back. And Alright, so I think we're gonna have to head back home and make one of these. Because, well, this isn't working. I don't know if I'm doing something wrong or... Alright, so now we have that disc with Isnium and Blaze Gold. And what else was it? Isnium, Blaze Gold. Okay, why isn't that working? 2005. Do I not require stress? And we do not have the stress upgrade done yet. Alright, and that is where we're going to end this episode. Hopefully by the time that I record the next episode, the Inferno Vault will be fixed, but as of now, from what I'm finding with Google, this vault is bugged and isn't able to be completed as of the current update, which is update 1.1.0. But we still got a lot done this episode, and we're ready to go for this vault. We've upgraded our gear, we have set up all of our Apothic enchanting, we've used our Apothic enchanting, and we've used the Apothic gear upgrade system. So we're feeling pretty powerful and pretty strong. We have everything ready to go for the Inferno Vault, and in the next episode, if this isn't fixed, I'm going to move on to one of the other quest lines. If it is fixed, I will very quickly finish up this quest line and move on to the next one regardless. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, make sure to give it a like, subscribe, and ring that bell, and I will see you in the next one. Later.